Deputy Executive Producer Paul Rezende. Hello, how are you? Deputy Executive Producer Carla Bugalho, my Eurovision how are you? Really, I love you. Contest Producer Christer Björkman. Portugal once again, hoping for Zana. And Event and Logistics Manager Maria Ferreira. How are you? Tired but happy? Yeah. Tired but happy?
Yes, yes, very happy.
How was it? How was it to work with RTP in the preparations for this? Year's Eurovision?
I think it has been a very good year actually. We started off the cooperation right after Salvador Sobral won in Kiev, and that's what we do every year. We start to work with a new host broadcaster on the night of the win, basically. Just a couple of days later, I was in Lisbon for the first time to meet with RTP and to set the framework for the cooperation, the timeline, the requirements that we had at such an early stage, and from that time on, it has been a very, very good cooperation. And I think what you saw yesterday is a result of thorough and professional work from RTP, and started on day one, and yeah, you see the result basically. Yeah, right.
What would you like to tell us?
What I would like to...
Yes, about the show, about everything. Just not about how things went with RTP in the beginning, but during all the process. And now that the semi-final, we had the first semi-final yesterday, what can we expect for the second, for the final?
We had a very strong semi-final yesterday, and I've been around Eurovision Song Contest since 1998, and I cannot recall that I have had such a strong heat in Eurovision Song Contest. It was stronger than many finals have been over the years. So that was a tough. But also when it comes to the act and the artists and the songs and the performances, I think there was a lot of good acts. And we will see that again tomorrow. And out of this will be a final on Saturday that I think will be quite memorable when it comes to the quality of the songs.
Thank you very, very much.
Well, that's not entirely my or RTP's fault. That is actually hard work from so many delegations and so many broadcasters. And we know that more and more of our members and our member broadcasters who participate in Eurovision Song Contest put more and more effort into creating spectacular moments on that stage, teaming up with really good songwriters and performers. And that's sort of a development that we very much appreciate.
How was it to build this from zero to...
This is a lifetime experience for everyone. The Eurovision Song Contest world, it's a huge challenge. And again, it is really a lifetime experience for each one of the 1,162 production team professionals. I repeat, 1,162, from which part are the RTP resources, the best talent we have in-house, together with the professionals from the national market, obviously, and the importance of having international resources which we have hired for very specific positions, and together we build up the most important tool within any production of any kind of audiovisual production. Team. This is all about team and communication, and I'm very proud to underline this particular issue, normally invisible, but teamwork and a strong team, which we are already benefiting, we, RTP, and the national sector for the TV production, broadcast production. One of the legacies we aim to achieve is on May 13 is to benefit from talent, competence and skills that we have been learning throughout the last 10 months. And it's coming out. So I'm very proud to state, to begin with the first legacy that we will have after May 12th.
Thank you.
There are others.
Krista, was this a big challenge?
Well,
you met wonderful people here.
First of all, the Portuguese people have been fantastic to us. They've been welcoming, they've been warm, funny. They've taught us a lot of bad words that I can't use here. But no, we've had a great time, and it's been challenging because when the decision was taken not to have LED graphics or anything or video on the show, it actually meant that all the countries had to think twice. Okay, how do we portray our entry this year? And they have been very talented, they have been very imaginative, they have been cooperative, and we've had very close collaborations with each country to define exactly what to do on stage. We have lots of props, more than ever before, and that's been the challenge really, to also get every song its own identity. But we're there, and you saw it yesterday, last night. It was a fantastic variety of great acts on stage, and we're very pleased with the result.
Thank you.
I would like to interrupt, because when I told there are others, I thought that was the key to us.
No, then I was talking the show, then I would go to Carla, and then but yes.
I give you the key that we have.
And I open the door, so now the door is open, and I'm going to enter that door, I'm going to walk that door, and here I am, I'm Maria. How are you? Nice to have you here. And Carla Valho, and Paulo Rezende. So who wants to start? Of course, I'm sorry, who wants to start? Carla, my goddess, my Eurovision goddess. You're beautiful, you look beautiful.
Thank you. What do you want to know? Well, we have 3 live shows since 2008, as you know. It's been a huge challenge for us, for the whole team to put them together, but as João was mentioning, the teamwork was the basis of everything, because we were not that much resources in the beginning, so but we managed them together, and a bigger and bigger team that grew into this production that we can see today. And it's working, and I think we had a good show yesterday night, and we'll have 2 more great shows for the people to see and to get to know Lisbon and Portugal in its best way.
Very much.
You're welcome.
Paulo, as deputy producer, executive producer, I don't know, deputy executive producer.
It's up to you.
No, it's up to the job title.
Yes, why do you know?
Do you feel challenged?
No.
No, not at all.
I don't agree with everything my colleagues have said until now, because
it's just another event.
No, it's just another TV show. Because the Eurovision Song Contest is very easy. We do it in 2 or 3 weeks, and as you have seen yesterday, all went well. So nothing to it.
Do you agree with him?
Sorry for bringing Paulo with us. Well, I'm the responsible for the less glamorous part of Eurovision, actually. So all the beautiful shows that you saw yesterday and that you will see, this belongs to these guys. I'm taking care of the invisible part of this, that must be invisible, but to treat of everything regarding the transportation, accommodation, those glamorous things around an event. And it has been working really well till now. And of course for me also it's one of the biggest experiences of my life. I'm sure it will be. In a month, I can tell you more about this. I think I have to sleep first. And that's it.
Okay, thank you. Now, questions. If you must.
No, just to complete the my first addressment, I would like to add the following. When we started last June, July, I do have to underline, first of all, the support of EBU from day one when we started to work. And that support has stayed all along the process. Although the wording of Paulo, this is the longest running, the most valued, and the most challenging TV show in the world. It is, as you know, the largest TV entertainment program of the entire world. And I would say it's much more than a TV program. It goes far beyond that. Having said so, on day one, our mindset, and that was the first question we have been thinking about it. What's the right mindset to build up Eurovision Song Contest 2018? And we kept, and we still do, up until May 12, the following 3 items. To make it as simple and elegant as Salvador performance in Kiev, to make it as distinctive and different as the city of Lisbon, the host city, and to make it as solid and at the high standards, broadcasting speaking, as EBU requires. And on May 12th, we will be back here to give the right answers. It's still early to debrief, but so far we feel comfortable about it.
Now it's your time. Yes, please, Alistair. How are you today?
Hi, Alistair Birch from Europhile. I'd like you to cast your minds back to the first days of rehearsals. I've attended a few Eurovisions and we've often heard about tired artists. And this year we had our first accident during the first rehearsal. So my question is more of a health and safety one. Have you considered moving the artist induction to the day before to make sure that the artists don't try and travel and rehearse in the same day?
We are talking about the Czech Republic generally. Health and safety, like security, have been one of our main concerns. We took all procedures and we fulfill all obligations. We do have 5 health medical teams inside the main venue. In each side event location venue, we do have a health team properly. We have a protocol with the health minister of the Portuguese government, with a huge, large backup all over the country in case of serious incidents. And by what happened with the artists from Czech Republic, the procedure that we did observe has been the correct one. We did assist on location right away. We took the artist and his father to the hospital, to a public hospital. Later in that same evening, we took on request of himself and the father to a private hospital to complement the examinations. We crossed information with his doctor in his homeland, and by the medical conference between both sides, it has been decided that he was in good condition to follow up the show. But again, all health and safety procedures anywhere in each one of the single venues have been fulfilled.
Just like to add to that, the delegations themselves decide when to come to the host city to rehearse. It's not something we tell them, you have to go on the same day. So they had a very early morning flight, if we're talking about the Czech Republic, and they decided to do so. They could also have come the day before. So that's not something that we decide.
Thank you. Yes, please. The mic time. Thank you.
Thanks. My name is Kees Beesma, Stichting Eurovision Artist in the Netherlands. I have two related questions about the change in the voting procedure or the co-voting for the juries. I understand that the impact of an individual juror who has one country much lower than the other jurors, that impact will be less, while the impact of an individual juror that has a country much higher than the rest will be higher than in the past. My question is, does this mean that jurors who the countries low was a bigger problem in the past than jurors being influenced in an improper way and putting countries higher?
Thank you.
It's just that we saw that it could be a possibility to go the other way around, actually, and to put countries lower. We wanted to reward the high points, basically, and we have thoroughly explained why, and also been very transparent with all the material that is behind this decision, and we have that available for you, so you can have a look at it. And there's also been written a lot about it on different community press that have analyzed this, so you will have a lot of information on it. We think it was a good change, and we will continue to tweak and to look at the whole fairness of Eurovision Song Contest and make sure that we have the best possible system in place for the years to come.
Next one, yes, please. Thank you.
Hello, Ricardo Matias from ESC Portugal. My question is for EBU and for RTP. From the whole process of the Eurovision from this year, what did RTP learn from this process that could be used for the other shows that RTP can produce? And for the EBU, from this experience with the Portuguese team, what do you think that you can use from this experience to other Eurovisions to come? Thank you.
That's a good question.
A good start. I would be very happy to share with you the viewing of a soccer match in May 2004 and the same soccer match or similar soccer match in August 2004. And the pattern of TV broadcasting, TV production is completely different. And the question is, what happened in between? In between it happened Euro 2004, which I was part of. I was the production director of that huge operation. And that is the answer, part of the answer. So it's a huge difference, as you certainly know. On the entertainment area, it's a completely different issue. Each production line goes different. It depends on the market, but I'm sure the patterns for the TV production on the entertainment area will certainly become different. First of all, as far as RTP is concerned, and as I have underlined, the skills that we've been learning from the talented international resources are huge. And sooner or later, I hope the sooner the better, but that depends on the market, on the condition, on the financial conditions of the market, that will come out for sure. It's not only what we see on screen, but there's a huge world behind the screen. It comes with methodology, it comes with discipline, it comes with management, and that is also part of our duties and jobs to produce the feel-good TV, as we are talking about entertainment, with a high quality and a lower budget, and that is possible. I would just to close this part. I would say high quality, low budget, and fast delivery doesn't happen, but two of them certainly happen. So.
To the second part of your question, I would say it's paramount for the EBU that we leave knowledge behind with the host broadcaster. this is a way of transferring knowledge both from the EBU, but also from professional staff that has been working for Eurovision Song Contest over many editions. The whole core decision-making team here in Portugal are from RTP, or they are Portuguese. And it's important for us to recognize that. For instance, the two multi-camera directors who are running the show are RTP multi-camera directors. It's a fantastic opportunity for them to do this, and they will gain a lot of knowledge that they can use in further production in the years to come. And that's very important for us. So we always team up, if possible, with the best local talent and make sure that they get the knowledge and can use it for further productions.
Thank you. Next, yes, please. You'll go next. You choose.
Hello, Ben Rothenberg from Slate.com in the US. I have a question about American broadcast of the contest. It's been on Logo TV live since 2016, but that live for that one afternoon on a Saturday, but it makes it tougher for the rest of the year with a lot of the geo blocks that Logo, I think, has decided for YouTube. None of the live performances are available on YouTube since the 2016 contest, so if you want to write an article or embed Sergei Lazarev or Salvador's winning performance, it's not available legally anywhere in the US, and I'm wondering why EBU allows for that sort of restriction of its content, because if there's hype about a Cyprus performance last night, no one in the US can see that performance online easily, and it just seems like more harm than good done by the deal.
Yeah, let me answer that question, and let's please be a good ambassador for this answer, because this is the truth. When it comes to the YouTube situation, they don't have any agreement with collecting societies, which means that they cannot, in the US, which means that we cannot broadcast the songs, because they need to have that in place in order for us to deliver them the material. So it's not Logo that is blocking this. It's actually not possible for us to go with our YouTube channel in the US because of the collecting societies. Sorry? What are the organizations in every country that pays back the money for music rights to the rights holders. That I don't know, but this is the reason.
Thank you. Lady? Thank you very much.
Hello, Anabela Ferreira from Diário de Notícias. And I would like to ask, what is the most difficult act to put on the stage this year? And also, is Portugal ready to host Eurovision every year from now? Of course.
Brisa, maybe you.
Well, I mean, we have a lot of very complicated acts in the competition this year, but I would say that it's usually the mapping that is most complicated, because it's such a detailed work, and everything has to be done in 40 seconds, the changeovers. Russia, Estonia, who have very precise graphics that should be shown. It worked very nicely last night, so we're happy about that. And then, of course, today at the rehearsal we had one prop that did not work, so we had to do it later in the show, and that might happen. I mean, it's complicated technicalities that we're dealing with, so we're hoping that it will not happen. And last night went fine, and we're hoping that tomorrow will do as well, and Saturday, of course.
Did you book the flight and the hotels already to help us in the national final? First of all, the song to work with us, because we'd love to work with you.
No.
Right, I think. Yeah, that's it.
No, the festival is at the same period, so...
The other question was if Portugal...
As far as the second part of the question, is RTP ready to produce it every year? That's up to
Well, if you win it, you host it. So.
I would say, not running away from the question, I would say, if you wishes to, yes, we are ready, provided we stand on the budget level where we are working on provided the cost per viewer stands on the 1 cent per viewer. This is where this is the result of the constraints we have to face, and we are hopefully overtaking. I repeat, 1 cent per viewer, which in terms as an executive producer of the event, this is an international pattern, which is an important tool to a producer, the relation between costs and efficiency. It's so provided we stand there, yes, we are ready.
Thank you. Yes, please. Final questions, because we are running out of time. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Gabor Roche from Panel Radio and Television from Subotica, Northern Serbia. And my question is, well, first of all, excuse me for this question, we Hungarians like to search in everyone's wallet. Well, you call this Eurovision this year an economic, environment-friendly and efficient Eurovision. So, in percentage, compared to the former Eurovision Song Contest, like how much it cost less than, for example, Kyiv or Stockholm, just in percentage, you don't need to tell the total cost anyway.
Economical.
So more economic efficiently.
But same quality, high quality.
High quality, and
I didn't listen, high quality.
High quality, yes, sir. You know, I just wanted to know, like, how much less is in percent the cost of the whole cost of Eurovision this year compared to last year's? I know this is a Hungarian thing, we like to search in everybody else. Well, sorry, I'm Hungarian.
Before the percentage, because it's not up to me to come up with the comparisons, I say to anticipate further questions, we will stand in an overall budget between 19.7 and 20.1. And this window, it does depend on how it goes the coming days, and especially the huge and immense task of the loadout. We have to load out in 3 days what we set up during 4 weeks. So that's a huge task ahead of us. So that's why we stand on that window. I repeat, 19.7 up to a maximum of 20.1.
I could add here that what we are doing in Portugal this year is the less expensive Eurovision Song Contest that has been done since 2008, when we started with 2 semi-finals. The reason why I cannot give any percentage around this is that every year it's a different economic setup for Eurovision Song Contest. Some broadcasters do not include their own staff in their calculations. Some broadcasters that take over Eurovision Song Contest invest in new equipment, and they use that as a part of an investment plan. And some broadcasters get huge support from the state and from the city. Some can even receive money for the TV production from the state or from the city. But in most cases, the city can contribute, for instance, with the facilities you see around here. But that can be the case some year, but not all years. So the financial setup is different. If you in Düsseldorf sell 30,000 tickets for each show, you get a much bigger revenue than if you sell 10,000 tickets for each show. So that's why these are not really comparable figures. It's very difficult to say. But what I can say that the amount spent this year is actually the lowest cost since 2008, which I appreciate a lot. Yeah, it's.
Last question. Yes, please.
Hi, this is Paul Lashmana from Newsmonkey from Belgium. Talking about the ticket sales, I sat in the jury rehearsal for the first semi-final, and there were huge swaths of audience, of seats empty. And I remember trying to get some tickets, and it was really, really hard to get them. And I was kind of surprised that there were so many empty seats in the hall. It's not the first time this happened, so it's a recurring problem. And I think it's... so is there something we can do to solve this, or is this something which is being looked into from EBU, because you are the caretakers of the event?
Well, what I can say on behalf of the EBU that we put these tickets on sale. Very rarely these shows are sold out. at all. I don't know if it was easy or difficult to get tickets. That I don't know. We don't sell the tickets. That we leave to the host broadcaster. But we always put them on sale, and we call them family shows basically because they're running in the afternoon, which means it's busy.
It was the evening show, the jury rehearsal basically.
Yeah.
So, which is actually an evening entertainment show basically.
Again, about that, it's something we are trying to understand. It was the question has been we addressed the question immediately. Why? How come? Because apparently it was not sold out, but it was we sold quite a large amount of tickets. So how did that happen? It's something that our commercial area, together with the ticketing agency to whom we have addressed the responsibility of selling tickets all over the world, it's working on that. However, although you've mentioned correctly the jury show, let me share with you that for yesterday's live show, the first semi-final, we did sell a round figure of 11,200 tickets, and the show up has been 9,195, 9195. So again, here we have an issue. What happened? Even though, what happened? So it's something we are working on for the last 2 days. Hopefully we have an answer before the grand final.
And I think we're finished. Just one more question. What do you think has changed in the Portuguese opinion about Eurovision, having Eurovision Song Contest here? Yes.
I think this made people realize the huge dimension that this event has. Because when Salvador won, people really started connecting again to Eurovision. And now that it's in Portugal, I see some people that are a bit surprised because they didn't pay much attention to the format here in Portugal, and now they're a bit surprised with the dimension of the event, because Maria said she had the invisible part, but she also has the event parts, that it's not just the show, it's the village, it's the Euro Club, it's the opening ceremony, it's everything that's around the Eurovision Song Contest. It's not just the 3 live shows and the jury shows and the family shows. It's a huge, huge event that lands on a city and that makes it live in a different way for 2 weeks. And this is what the Eurovision is all about. These 2 weeks of party and joy and everybody together because of music. And I think that in Portugal now people realize what Eurovision is.
And I'm here not just as a host, but as an Eurovision fan, and you know that I really am. So on behalf of Portugal, the Portuguese, and a lot of Eurovision fans, thank you very much for this wonderful Eurovision 2018.
Thank you.